today I don't know how it can get better than yesterday, but I think it just is going to continue on. Going to my cousin Gloria's house, who has been helping kids in the city of Chicago for 40 years become chefs and cooks and how to cook easy meals in the kitchen. And is where we went on Christmas Eve, my family, and she would always have this gigantic spread out. And we're going to go and cook a recipe that she's been cooking for 50 years. We're going to eat that, talk with Gloria, see what's going on there. Then we're going to make our way back to Dyer. We originally had a plan to go do another filming. That fell through. So why not stop and eat some of the best tacos in the world? We're going to eat tacos from Chicago to Indiana after we're done with the family table. So stay tuned. We are on the way right now. Let's go. This is a super, super special edition of the family table because I have my cousin Gloria, who, by the way, she probably doesn't even know this, but she's one of the inspirations of the reason why I started cooking. We came here every Christmas Eve.
Yep, for sure.
So every Christmas Eve, probably 20 other times during the year as well. This is super special to me because, what do we have, 21 cousins?
Oh, yeah. Oh, more than that. Yeah,
22.
But that's close. 22 and then great cousin.
Yeah,
so they're the line.
Our moms are sisters. And my mom was in the kitchen a ton. Your mom was in the kitchen a ton. And you started 56 years ago.
Yep. There it is.
And about 50 years ago is when you really started getting into cooking. So tell us why you started doing that.
I cooked out of necessity. Well, I cooked because I love food. Can you tell? All right. But I cooked out of necessity because my mom was a working mom.
Yep.
And I had 3 brothers. And what boys don't like to eat?
Yes.
So she was busy working and I was busy cooking and keeping the household running. This recipe we're doing today is literally over 100 years old. This one came from Palermo, from Italy, from on my father's side.
Goosebumps.
Okay.
100-year-old recipe. When you had to start, so your brothers, Danny, Ricky, Patty.
Yeah, my 3 stooges.
The 3 stooges, you had to start cooking for them. You learned out of necessity because you had to feed the family. Your mom went to work. You started asking people like my mom and
That's
neighbors
right.
and all of this. Did you take the baseline of their recipes and then say, okay, but Patty doesn't like too much of this in there? Like, you started learning what they liked. How did that actually work?
This is the whole premise of my cooking. Okay, it's a matter of taking the recipe. Don't get afraid of this table that's here in front of you. Oh my God, I don't have all of that. But what you do is, like we talked about earlier, if you keep that premise, now you can tweak it to what you like. Like you said, my dad's not big on garlic. My sister don't like the cheese. My aunt don't like whatever it is. Now you've got to keep it tried and true, but you can tweak it to what you need.
Okay, so this is Cooking with Everyday Ingredients is her program that she's done for 30 years. Talk to me a little bit. I know the amount of accolades and times you've been on the news and things that you've done. There's just too many to talk about. We would have to be here. We would have to be here all day.
Yeah.
But tell me the premise of what you did with these kids and the inner city youth of Chicago, which I think is one of the most outstanding things I've ever heard. Give me the foundation of that.
Well, this all started way back when, right here on the southeast side. You know, you're the south side chef.
That's right.
Okay, over at Taylor Elementary School, which is just due south of here. I've lived in this neighborhood all my life. But it started, again, over 30 years ago with my principal, who knew I liked to cook at the time. All right? And we were having issues, welcome to the world, with the teens and the gangs and the problems and everything that's out there that's prevalent. We all know it exists right now. And she said, Gloria, I know you love to cook. She says, how about you start a cooking class for the kids after school to keep them off the streets?
Wow.
She says, I can give you the space. She says, I ain't got much to give you, but I'll give you the space. I said, okay, let's start with the space. So we started with the space with the 8th grade class, which was like 20, 25 kids. And now I have thousands of kids apply for the class. But we started it that way. And then I caught the eye of Maggie Daly, who at that time was doing the After School Matters program, which is what I'm a part of even to this day. And it was like, let's keep these kids in a safe environment and give them a meal, because for some of these kids, it is their meal.
Yeah.
I mean, welcome to whatever it is.
Reality. I mean, it's just the reality
It's the reality. I mean, I always laugh that I tell, when we make a recipe, I'll say, okay, we got leftovers, who wants to take it home? Nobody wants it. I said, why don't you want to take it home? If I take it home, I got to share it. Okay, I'm gonna sit here and eat it all, chef. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll wipe it out.
Okay.
It's like, all right, go ahead, wipe it out. No, but I mean, and some of them do take it home. But it's interesting to know sometimes, even to this day, of what's going on out there.
Yeah. Now we're only gonna learn, I think, 2 recipes. Number 1, a spaghetti sauce, and number 2, a modification of a lasagna called a lasagna roll-up. And this spaghetti sauce has been 100 years in our family, basically,
Yeah.
right? Our extended family. And these lasagna roll-ups are going to be something that, I mean, Wednesday night, you don't know what to cook. You can put this together very easy with everyday ingredients. I'm getting hungry already. It's lunchtime on the southeast side of Chicago, so I think it's time to start cooking.
Welcome to the new world, all right? And we've got vegans, and we've got vegetarians,
Yep.
and we've got gluten-free, and we've got, what am I missing?
Oh, allergies and nuts and yeah.
So the point is, what's great about the recipes is, my recipes, is that you can take the ingredient and tweak it to the way that you need it. So if you're gluten-free, they sell gluten-free lasagna noodle now.
Yep.
If you're vegan, I've got the real deal ricotta cheese here, but you can buy the vegan ricotta cheese.
Got it.
We're gonna do a meat sauce, but maybe you don't want to do meat. Don't put it in. That's all it is. No big deal.
Don't look at it and go, well, I can't make this recipe because they use meat. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You don't have to do that. All right. So, again, and what do you like? I know some of my friends, they don't eat pork, so don't put the sausage in. Go with God. I'm very sorry you don't eat pork. It's okay. All right. But maybe we're going to use some ground round.
So what's this? Is this about a pound?
Yeah, that's about a pound.
Okay, so a pound, is it like so ground round, like
ground
80,
round
20?
Or ground chuck. Yeah, 80-20 is good. You want that little bit of fat.
Yeah.
You got to remember, fat is
flavor. Yes.
All right. So you don't want it too lean, unless you got health issues, and then that's another whole story. Now, normally our family only ever made it with hamburger. Why? We had the guy next door, and way back then, shush your mouth, hamburger was 3 pounds for $1 when it went on sale.
Now it's on sale for $3 per pound, and that's on sale.
And that's if you can find it for that price. And your other option, again, is some Italian sausage. So only because I got it out, we're going to do both.
Yes, let's
all right?
do it.
But again, it's just a matter of what you like. So this is going to go on the stove.
Okay.
And we're just going to brown it
We're
up.
going to just brown this down?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, while this is browning down, and we'll let Nick do the browning,
Got it.
we look over here, and it's like, what is she doing with that big roasting pan?
Let me get this out of your
Oh,
way.
yeah, that's going to get hot. There. What is she doing with that big roasting pan? When you cook lasagna noodles, I know you all got a pasta pot, right? We all do.
Yes.
But the pasta pot is circle. The lasagna noodles are long and straight.
Yeah, so.
Right? So, yeah, I know for years and years and years you've been putting them in here and let them cook them down and moving them around, and then they got busted up, they got ripped, they got torn, all right? But if you take a roasting pan, and I've just got my pan with some boiling water in it.
By the way, I've never seen this before. I've never done this before this way. Mine always curl around the sides of the pasta pot.
What's really cool about this now, and I'm going to jack this back up because I just lowered it because it was boiling. So if you're just at home with your significant other, maybe there's only 2 of you, so you don't have to cook the whole box. Maybe you just want to make 4 lasagna roll-ups. Put the rest in the pantry for another time. Maybe you want to make the whole thing, and Nick and I were talking, you could wrap them up individually, quick frozen, like your little frozen meals, and pull them out of the oven, out of the freezer when you need them, and heat them up. We are going to do the whole pot, and I'm just going to lay these in there nicely, and look, they're going to cook. I don't have to worry about them busting up.
Perfectly flat.
Perfectly flat,
okay.
And they're going to do their thing. We're going to give them about 8 to 10 minutes. I got to get this strainer out. Okay, so let's talk about the sauce now. These are the ingredients. All right, this is Grandma's recipe that, again, truly dates back 100 years.
Jeez.
All right? Don't freak out to say, oh, it's not cooked.
Want to put a towel down on that?
No,
That's
we'll
gonna
put
be
it right
okay?
on here.
Okay.
All right? So remember now, we're going to make the sauce. It's going to continue to cook.
Cook, yeah.
So don't worry that it's not completely cooked.
Okay.
All right? If we were going to go and put this on something now, yeah, well, all right. So we're going to use, here's the rule of thumb. I'm using tomato paste. And our sauce base is paste. I know some use some use crushed tomato. Grandma always used paste.
And
All
what
right.
is paste? Is just a more
Condensed,
It's
yeah,
it's a more
flavorful.
Concentrated.
Oh, what the heck, Uncle Bob?
Yeah, he took the-
Just more concentrated.
Okay.
So the rule of thumb is, for every can of paste, you use 2 cans of water. I don't care what size the can is. If you got a number 10 can, you know, the one they use
big
in the
ones,
restaurant, you put the can of paste and 2 cans of water.
Got it.
Got those little bitty cans that you buy? I might have one in there. I'll pull it out in a minute. It's 1 can of paste and 2 cans of water. It doesn't change.
Got it.
All right? So 2 cans of paste. I'm going to do the first one, and you'll do the second one. All right? And then we're going to take some hot water. You can use cold water. Don't get crazy. And we're going to fill it up. And now this is for my depression babies out there.
You're getting the
Who
stuff
use
off the side.
everything out. Yeah, you didn't waste anything. You want everything out of that can, so that when that can is, now this is only can number 1, right?
Yep.
All right, and then when I put can number 2, all right, and I'm scraping the side. That was my job. I had to scrape the side, and now, look, I got a clean can.
Yep.
All right, everything's used. So you do the second one.
All right.
Because meanwhile, while you're doing that, our noodles are now, oh, you hear? Are nice and supple, and this is what we want. We want them to be flexible. And again, my lasagna people, look, they're all intact. Nothing's cracked, nothing's torn apart. All right, so we're going to take these over to the stove, to the sink, and we're going to drain them. And there's my glasses. I can't see. I'm blind to it. I'm going to turn the oven on 350 to start it to heat up. Okay. This is done.
So
All right.
noodles done. Building sauce. I did the 1 can tomato paste, 2 cans of water.
There you
no
go.
matter how many you put in, just use that ratio.
Yep. It doesn't change.
Okay.
It doesn't change. So now we're going to mix that together.
Okay.
And you see, you got to remember, I'm the old school cook. I don't measure. But you that are measuring, Nick is going to give you all the measurements. All right, so that you have the recipe. But we're going to start, that goes over here. We're going to start with garlic. And again, back then they used fresh garlic, but now we have garlic powder.
Yep.
My measurement is to cover the top. So
Okay.
there's our garlic.
And what does the recipe say so that when I see the 3 tablespoons, I'd say that's pretty damn close right there.
Yeah. All right, and then we have onion powder.
When you make it for 56 years, you're going to get real close every single time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
you know what you're doing by
I'm pretty
now.
sure.
If
Do I
you don't-
stir this in as you put it in,
No,
or do I wait?
no. I
Okay.
like the colors.
I'm staying.
Okay?
I'm
Yeah,
staying.
Stay away. Stay away. So now we're going to do the same amount of onion powder.
I would say maybe that was a little bit more.
Nah, same thing.
Okay, same
All
thing.
right. And then we're going black pepper.
Okay.
Now, again, years ago, that's all we had, black. Some people, now I don't do as much black pepper, just a nice sprinkling. Some people like to use the white pepper now.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in our ricotta when we go to do it, because some people say, oh, there's something in my cheese. It's black. Oh, there's a bug in my cheese.
Visually,
No, it's not.
visually they
Yeah.
see the pepper in there.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, there's, nah. So then we got basil and oregano. And again, the bottom line is, there's our basil. If you have fresh basil, feel free to chop it in there, and oregano, feel free to chop it in there.
And if you like something that's really herbaceous,
Yeah,
put
add
more
more.
oregano, put
No.
more basil in there.
But remember the rule about cooking.
There
You
is
can
no
always
writing.
add more.
You can always add more.
Once you put it in there, baby,
It's gone.
you're done.
Yeah.
There is no going back. So remember to taste. There's an acronym called TAT. T-A-A-T. You ever hear that one?
Taste
TAT.
as you.
No, taste Wait a minute. I lost it. It's a senior moment. Taste, adjust, add, and taste again. Got the magic ingredient over here.
What's this?
Sugar.
Sugar?
Sugar. Sugar, baby. In tomato sauce? Well, here's the deal, and this was Grandma's little secret ingredient. This ain't nothing but sugar, and what it does was, you're talking about Guy and the acid, this cuts the acid.
Of the tomato.
You know how a lot of people like, oh, the tomato burns, and it's true. There's just that little bit of sugar, tablespoon of sugar, knocks down that acid. Now, I know some of my tried and true are gonna be out there going, no, I don't put sugar in mine. That's okay, don't do it. What I tell you already, all right, this is adaptable. I was going to use the salt shaker, but I'm going to pull out the salt. And I want about a teaspoon of salt. So you know, if you take this little curl in your hand right there, and put that in there, that's 1 teaspoon of salt.
Right, like a dime. It's almost like looks like a dime.
That's 1 salt right there. All right. And again, because we're doing now we can stir.
Okay.
Because we're doing savory, we can modify. You can add more. You can add less. You can do whatever you want. Now we're going to put that back on the heat over here. So now we're just going to let that cook.
Okay.
A lot of people add cheese to their sauce, and I do too.
Mm-hmm.
But Chef, you didn't put the cheese in. Anybody know why I don't put the cheese in till the end? Why don't I put the cheese in till the end?
Well,
any guesses? It's all right if you get, but here's the reasoning. The thing about cheese is it's got oil and it's heavy and it sinks to the bottom. You ever cooking tomato sauce and it's burning at the bottom of the pan?
Yeah.
What's burning is the cheese.
So the density of the cheese.
The density
is it is outweighs what's really?
Yeah. Yep. So the point is, once this gets really nice and hot, now I'm going to add my cheese to it. And what's the cheese going to do when I put it into that hot broth?
Now it's going to melt versus go down.
That's it.
I'm leaving. I just learned like 6 things in 4 minutes.
There it is. That's it. You want to buy a good ricotta cheese, and you can find it most of the time in your deli section. I know they sell the ones that come in the, in the container in the dairy section. Mm-hmm. I remember the taste, analyze. Oh, this needs more salt. This needs more sugar. Let's see. Oh no, it's pretty good. Adjust and taste again.
Got it. Okay.
Until you get it to the layer you want. So back to the ricotta. We're not going to give them a commercial, but there's a brand out there that is really good, and I swear by it. It begins with a C. You guys go look it up in your deli section, all right? But it's really good ricotta. It's got a nice, firm texture. It's meaty. It's delicious, okay? It holds its shape. It's not smooth and crunchy. I mean, smooth like some of them are. Feel how it's got that little bit of give to it. It's really good stuff. I mean, I swear by it, but everybody do your thing. But if it's not available, obviously any ricotta cheese is going to work. Now, this is going to be our filling for the traditional lasagna. Some of the lasagnas nowadays, they put bechamel in it.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't the real deal, sorry. I mean, some people say it is, but no, we go with the ricotta. To that, we're going to add 2 eggs. Go ahead, Nick.
About how much?
This is a pound and a half. Pound and a half.
Okay.
All right, because I'm making a big, we're making all the roll-ups is what we're doing. Do we want spinach today or we don't want spinach?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
All right, so what I've got to do is I've taken that spinach. Do not cook it. It's already been blanched for you. Okay? All I did was take it out. I let it defrost. I took it out of the package. And years ago, we used to use cheesecloth. Let's give it a stir, Nick.
Good.
All right? And you're just going to squeeze out with a paper towel any of the excess fluid. All right? So that it doesn't water down your sauce.
That's a pro tip right there.
All right? Now, I've done it already a couple of times. So you see there's not a lot of liquid in here. You can see how it's sort of dry, which is what we want. All right? And then we're going to take a knife and we're just going to give it a rough chop. Chop it up.
Yep.
Just a rough chop. If you like bigger pieces, you can do bigger pieces. So our sauce has come to a boil. And technically, this sauce is done now, Nick.
Yeah?
That's how fast Grandma used to do it.
Really?
Okay, that's it. It's done. The flavors have melded. It's come to a boil. The meat is cooked. So now we're going to throw in the spinach, as much or little as you want. We're just going to drop that in there. If you don't like spinach, and we didn't have spinach, what we would put in is parsley. Why? Basically for color.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
for color.
because visually it's
Yeah, you know, and if you ain't got it, you can leave it white. It's totally okay.
Yeah.
All right. To that, then we're going to add some of our Parmesan cheese.
Good stuff.
About a half a cup. Yeah, the good stuff. Sorry, gang. About a half a cup of the Parmesan.
We gotta do a little taste test on that.
And then to bind the whole thing together, we're going to add some shredded mozzarella. Now, years ago, we would have to buy the brick and shred it. Even the Parmesan, we would take the wedge. I got a wedge in the fridge there. And then we're just going to add just a little bit here, and now we're going to mix all that together.
Okay.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, Nick. Go for it.
All right.
And we can use the white pepper or the black pepper.
Let's use the white pepper.
Okay.
How much? Just a couple shakes, you think?
Oh, yeah. Don't get crazy.
Okay.
All
Couple
right.
shakes of white pepper. And then I'm going to say that's about a teaspoon of salt.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to add my cheese to it. And guess what? It's going to melt right in there. Okay? And now, nothing's sticking to the bottom. Everything's blending. And my old school, I'm telling you, this trick works every time. And look at how that cheese just dissolved right into that sauce.
How much are you putting in there, Glor?
What? I put about a cup.
About a cup?
Okay? Again, personal preference. And again, this is a Parmesan Romano. You can use straight Parmesan. You can use straight Romano. But look, Nick, come on over here. Take a look.
Okay.
Look, so I'm just going to show you. When I just put that in there, okay, it
Just
dissolves
right away.
right into that hot sauce. And I don't have to worry about it setting down to the bottom and burning the pan. Now, again, like Nick said, eventually everything's going to burn if you leave it on there long enough. But now I've got this nice, rich, decadent sauce. And let's have a taste.
Yeah, we got it.
Let's see.
We're going to adhere to our acronym right now
TAT.
of TAT.
Taste.
Analyze. Adjust. And taste again.
There we go. We're getting there, but what do we need? A little bit of salt. And you feel that acidity of the tomato?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got your choice. Do we want to cut it a little bit and add a little more sugar? Or do you like it, that acidy, vibrant herbal taste?
Yeah, that's what I like.
You like the verb?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
then we leave the sugar there. I know a lot of times, you know, like Guy would say, that I'm only going to do a little bit here because we don't want to over-salt it. People don't, sometimes you can over-salt.
Yeah.
So you got to watch. But again, that's why we've got our acronym to taste and analyze. So now we're going to start our lasagna rolls. And our sauce is, look at how nice, thick, and meaty.
Beautiful.
We're going to put a layer down on the pot and just spread it out a little bit. Just to, you know, instead of putting grease on the bottom, we're putting sauce on the bottom. So now we're going to take a noodle in front of us.
Okay.
And you're going to cook as many or make as many as you want. We're going to do the whole thing here.
Okay.
All right. So first things first. So we're going to take our ricotta.
All right. You want to give
right.
me I'm going to do the butter knife.
You're going to do the butter knife,
gonna do
or
the
you want
butter
me to
knife.
do it?
No, I'll do the
All
butter
right.
knife.
So we're going to layer a layer of our lasagna on. I mean our ricotta. Now we don't want to go edge to edge. We want to stay in the middle. And the reason is, I want you to think about when you make a ham sandwich and you throw a bunch of mayonnaise on it, or a bunch of mustard on it, and then you put the lid on the sandwich, and you squish it together, and that's right, everything comes out the side, right?
Yeah.
So we want to have it room for expansion.
Got it.
All right. So just a nice little layer of that.
How's that? Is
That's
that okay?
perfect.
Okay.
Yep. And then we're going to take a layer of sauce.
Oh, you actually do sauce in it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why. Oh yeah, we're not doing the whole deal. So here we go. You take your sauce.
Same thing, not all the way to the edge.
All right down the middle. Right down the middle. And you notice how I left my openings end open? Because, and you did too.
Yeah.
Because again, think about making that
It's gonna go
sandwich.
around,
It's
yep.
going to squish.
Yep.
Then we're going to take a little bit of the mozzarella.
Okay.
Right down the middle. Or a lot of it. A little bit, a lot of it.
Yeah, if
What
you
do
want
like?
it cheesy. If you
want it
cheesier.
cheesy, then go with some cheese, okay? And then just a sprinkling if you want, and you don't have to, of the Parmesan.
I can't get enough Parmesan, so.
Okay, so right in there. All right. Now it doesn't matter where you start. You're going to start at one end.
Do I want to like get it tight, or
No,
is it
no.
like just nicely?
Nice and flipping loose.
Okay.
Okay, so just roll it over till you get to the end, and now you've got the end of the pasta.
Yep.
And that sets right. The end goes down into the sauce.
Okay.
And there you go.
We're gonna try to put 3 in there, or are we
Yeah, we're
do
gonna
2?
put 3. Move it
Okay,
over.
So
It's
then
fine.
we'll do that.
And there's
There
the
it is.
lasagna roll-up. How simple is that?
Easy enough. Why would I? So my question is, why would I ever do the traditional lasagna? Because here's what happens: we warm up lasagna. My son loves lasagna. Tony, lasagna lover. But whenever I'm cutting it out, if it's not cooled down enough, it gets sloppy in there, and you're like, give me this corner piece, and it kind of is like sloppy. When I see this, I'm guessing when this comes out, we're going to be able to take a spatula, go boom, boom, and
put it
right out.
on. Yep, absolutely.
I'm not making regular lasagna again. That's it. I've had enough.
This is it. So let's just get these rolling now.
So we're going to roll the rest of these out. We're going to come back because I think we're going to probably sauce them and cheese them again and then into the oven.
Yep.
So me and Gloria are going to roll these out. We'll be right back. Look at this. We almost used exactly the amount that we made.
Not like I don't know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, well, maybe done this once or twice or 50,
So now we've got our
7,000 times.
sauce, and now we're just going to ladle it over the top. So each one gets a little bit of sauce. Remember, when this sauce gets hot, it's going to expand. So don't say, oh, you missed a spot there. You know, we can take the bottom of the scoop and layer it over.
Yep.
Here, you get that one. We want to use it all. And then what happens next is now we just finish off. You use what's in that bowl there.
Okay.
And we're just going to finish off with a nice layer of mozzarella. A little bit of parm if you want it. And doesn't it not look like a tray of lasagna?
It does. You would never know the difference now.
But using exactly the same thing, throw some on mine.
Yeah, we got it.
And now we're ready to go. So this is going to go in the oven, 350 degrees. You can cover it with foil. I usually do, but I don't. I got to grab the piece of foil, but I just want to show you the process. And we're just going to let that cook until that cheese melts and everything's dissolved. Meanwhile, you clean up your area, make a nice salad, get a loaf of Italian bread. You got it made.
30 minutes. I'm filling this belly with this.
30
I'm
minutes.
looking forward to it. So it's been about 25, 30 minutes. We checked it once in between. It was looking really good to start off with. Timer's off. Let's see.
Pull the rack.
Oh yeah.
There we go. See it bubbling? We're good to go.
Nice and bubbly. Woo-hoo-hoo. Much to my dismay, we're gonna wait 5 to 10 minutes so that this cools down just a little bit, but just the aroma coming from this makes me want to just dive in right now. But we're gonna be patient, we're gonna do it the right way. 5 or 10 minutes, come right back, and then we'll cut one out.
We gotta try.
We gotta try this stuff because I am like into it big time. Let me cut. I'm gonna cut. Let's see, Rob. Let's cut this in half, and then I'm gonna cut it in half.
We're just getting rid of this and just throw this over here.
Okay, there's my bite. Gloria, grab yours. Look at that.
Now you could add a little extra Parmesan cheese on top if you like. Some red pepper flakes.
Yeah, make it spicy.
Okay, spicy. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Delicious. Melt in your mouth. Dick wants another bite. Absolutely delicious. You can't beat it.
You really can.
And as simple and easy as it is. So, I'm Chef Gloria Hafer, cooking with everyday ingredients. That's my cousin Nikki Farr here, learning the tricks of the trade.
This has been more informative than anything that I've done in a very long time. The 56 years comes out immediately. The thousands of meals, the thousands of people that have been affected by your recipes, your food. I'm happy to call you my cousin. I'm so proud of everything that you've done. It's actually amazing, and it's hard to believe the magnitude of the stuff that you've affected. But this is it. You saw it. It took us
Not
30
long.
minutes, 30, 40
You know,
minutes?
if we both would have stopped talking, this would have been done in 20 minutes. You know, really, these recipes are so simple. Nick's going to post the recipe.
Yep.
I'll give him all the ingredients for you. Feel free to reach out. Remember, on Tuesdays, I'm on Facebook Live doing cooking demos every week. Nick's doing his own thing now. Going to call him my protege. He's going to be rich and famous just like me one of these days.
Absolutely.
All
So
right?
keep cooking. You'll make your friends happy. You'll make your family happy. You'll make your neighbors happy. And when you could do it with someone like this,
And you can do it.
you could do it too. Until we see you again.